2015. For visual rules and enter go to SiriusXM.com/interview Coldplay before 10 a.m. Eastern on November 18th. No purchase necessary.
Go higher. We all love hot, nasty, increased, and improved performance, just like those fellows were striving for, reaching and clawing for weights and reps. But I'm here to tell you that there's some low-hanging fruit out there regarding your recovery. We love to focus on the performance of things, but the recovery, if you're working out 1 hour a day, the other 23, there's a lot of opportunity to improve the quality of your life and your movement and help you work towards completing that 5K. So today's Complete 5K project is all about recovering from your workouts. Salutations, wellness companions. This is AJ Webb, your SLV Health Wellness Coordinator, bringing you another Complete 5K project. And today's topic is recovering from your workouts. In the video I just shown, I spent a lot of time focusing on the performance, what are we doing, how hard are we doing it, and that can create some great intensity. However, it's taxing and it's expensive, right? It doesn't cost money, but it costs time, it costs energy, and there are some low-hanging fruit out there that can help you recover from your workouts, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, when we talk about high performance, right, let's talk about, Olympic athletes. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that perform at the highest levels and they look like $1 million. But the truth is, they may be wearing out joints, they may be wearing out cartilage, they could be, right, even though they look like $1 million, they are paying a price, right? Someone's always getting paid, okay? So I can look back at my experience, and I used to have a dialogue around my experience playing NCAA Division II football here at Adams State, that because I worked out, I was never hurt, and, I was super durable, and I worked out really, really hard, and I, really attributed the working out, the following the workout programs, the working on my diet to gain muscle is why I wasn't injured, but I probably missed a game total throughout a 4-year career, and most of that had to do for concussion protocol and 1/2 of a game for MCL sprain. But other than that, I didn't miss a whole lot. Didn't miss but a few, maybe a handful of practices. But I had a lot of resources at my disposal that, when I would say, hey, I wasn't hurt a lot, I didn't take those into account. I had good gear. I had some of the best cleats and good helmets and shoulder pads. I had a trainer to tape me up every day. I got to go and do any kind of physical therapy that I might need in order to keep my body healthy to start repair. I got stem and heat and lasers, and there was a nice cold plunge. I was able to go get 2 big bags of ice to throw on my knees after workouts and gym sessions. And I had my youth. I was, between the ages of 18 and 22 years old, I had my youth to buffer all that physical activity I was doing, plenty of time to take naps, a cafeteria to go eat a bunch of food, and the ignorance to really take more ibuprofen than I really should have. So in looking back at my career, did I have a long career because I worked out and I was durable? Yes, but I also had a whole lot of resources that I don't have the same amount of resources now, right? I got some ibuprofen, but I don't get to take naps. I don't have my youth to buffer this activity anymore, and I have to be smarter about my workouts so that I can perform relatively to the best that I can, but not at the expense of other things that that are going to decrease the quality of my life, right? So with this, a person can practice, play, perform, and miss a handful of practices, right? Look at all these different resources I had the opportunity to use. The paradigm shift has been the 23-to-1 paradigm shift. Anymore, I'm really not spending much more time than 1 hour working out, right? So I can really focus on that 1 hour, but there's a whole lot of other things I can do in the other 23 hours to improve my quality of life, recover from my workouts, and I'm going to share a few of those with you, okay? So focusing that energy on that hot, nasty performance, not the worst idea in the world, but may be more difficult than looking at the other 23. And specifically, these 4 areas right here: nutrition, sleep, tissue and mobility maintenance, and some non-exercise activity. So when I'm talking about those things, while training for this complete 5K, am working to eat higher quality foods, right? So for my carbohydrates, I'm not paying inordinate amounts of money for anything, but I'm trying to eat less pastas and breads and more sweet potatoes and vegetables, okay? Eating cleaner, so I'm eating some leaner sources of proteins and fats, and the idea is I'm going to help my body by trying not to pump it full of alcohol and bread and all kinds of these, these things that taste really good. They're a whole lot of mouth fun, but they have some, what I believe would be some an inflammatory response. Long story short, I operate better on these types of fuels, the higher quality ones, the more whole food types, and I'm working to eat those, and that's going to help me recover, right? I not only have to buffer the inflammation of working out, and I don't need to be packing my body full of poor sources of fuel while I'm at it. Sleep has been a big priority to me ever since I talked with Sexy Sam, the Sandman Valdez, our sleep technologist here, and I've really worked on getting 7 to 8 hours and developing a routine. So now I get down with some sleepy time tea. I brush my teeth at about the same time. I'm working to get my kids, my 2-year-old, my 4-year-old, in bed and in their jammies too. And so by building a routine and working to get that 7 to 8 hours, I feel that is helping me recover, right? My software and my hardware get to shut down and they get to do their thing while I'm sleeping. I'll link to the video if you want to check out more about the interview I did about nutrition with Adam, and then the one I did with Sam about sleep. Next thing is tissue and mobility maintenance, right? So I talked with Dr. Corey Jones about why it's important to warm up, why it's important to cool down. I'll link to that interview as well. But I've skipped these before, and I'm really working to make sure that I am activating my musculature, my nervous system, and going through my designated warm-up. And then even though I might be collapsed on a pile, ready to go home, I'm getting that cool down stretch in so I can begin to recover. Especially my tissues, right? Because after these workouts, my calves blow up, they get tight, my ankles get a little gooey, and my muscles hurt. So not only am I participating in this warming up and this cooling down, but I'm also smashing myself with a few different things. I got the advice to use a Coke can, and I switched to a set of lacrosse balls, and what these do is it lets me step on them so I can alleviate some of the I can unglue some of those tissues on my feet and work that muscle soreness away. I also have this torture device right here called a Goosebumps. There are plenty of other roller type things, but I roll this over my stiff and tight muscles, and that helps get things moving. I am also taking advantage of things that I already have laying around the house, like this bag of green beans, and I'm throwing my heel on there after my workout so that I can work to reduce some of that inflammation. And if I really need it, I will partake in a little bit of ibuprofen, but not for pre-practice pain management, right? Before weights, I used to take ibuprofen so I could get through those things, so I could perform. And that is not in line with what I'm trying to do anymore. Last thing is moving around throughout the day. So if it's today's Tuesday, if it's Monday and I ran the day before, I'm a little bit stiff, so I've been addressing that with my tissues by smashing them in the mornings. But now I'm going to make sure that I'm not sitting all doggone day. I'm getting up, I'm taking some walks, getting my 10,000 steps, and just getting some non-exercise activity in there, and just sitting a little bit less. Okay, so the meat and potatoes of this video is this 23-to-1 paradigm shift. We love to focus on the performance and how do we make it harder and faster and more and bigger and greater. But if we look at these other 23 hours that we have in the day, when we're sleeping, when we're sitting, when we're eating, these things that we have to do every day, if we can improve the quality of those practices, we will improve the quality of our life, be a little bit more focused and clear-headed. It's going to take a little bit of headache getting used to these types of things and remembering to do them and having the support and the systems in place, but they will ultimately aid in my recovery, your recovery, to complete your 5K. Thank you. I hope this was valuable. Links in the description below for those videos that were mentioned. Toodaloo.